Welcome to this screencast. This is a electronic version of the lesson that we are going to be doing in class on how to cite websites and anthologies. If you happen to miss class, this will be a great opportunity for you to get caught up. First thing you need to know is the instruction I'm giving you is on the MLA 2009 version. There has actually been an update just this year, and they've totally changed the way they're doing citations. Because all of our materials are still haven't been updated yet, we as an English department have decided this year we're sticking with the old way. Next year you'll probably be learning a new way, and in college you'll definitely have to use the new way. So that's just kind of a caveat, but for this year Nazareth High School is continuing the way we've always done it. All right, so what you're going to need for this lesson is two things. One of them is the course handbook. In the course handbook, you have a citation quick guide, and you're also going to need the handout that you got in class called AP Citation Practice. Both of them are also available on Schoology in the research paper folder if you need to access them electronically. Real quick, here is what they look like. Your citation quick guide looks like this. It is probably towards the back of the course handbook. The AP citation practice looks like this on the front. We're actually going to be working with anthologies, which is number 3, and websites, which is number 9. And over on the citation quick guide, same deal, number 3 and number 9. So you're going to have to do a little bit of flipping because we're not doing all of the different citation sources today. We're just focusing on these two. All right, so back over to our PowerPoint. The first thing is citing an anthology. An anthology is a fancy word for a book that consists of articles or pieces by many authors. This is like a textbook or an essay collection. The language of composition, they say, I say, they can both be considered anthologies. Sometimes they're going to tell you in that anthology where each piece was originally published, and your citation quick guide actually gives you how-tos on all those different scenarios, but we're not going to worry about that right now. For now, for purposes of the quiz, for purposes of just getting started, we're going to worry about the most basic. If the source that you have does in fact have original publication information, then you can take a look at that citation guide or ask me for help. But for right now, we're not worried about all of those what-ifs. So when you cite an anthology, this is the basic format. Now, the first thing I'll tell you is this is not perfectly double-spaced. I'm trying to save room on the PowerPoint slide. You're always going to start off, no matter what type of source you have, with an author, last name, comma, first name. Author of the particular article that you're looking at, not the entire textbook. That's really important for this type of citation. You're not citing the entire book, you're citing the specific part in the book that you're looking at. After you use the author, last name, comma, first name, you put a period. Next up comes the title of the article. Now this is a really important distinction. Titles of articles or other short pieces like individual songs or individual episodes of television shows or poems, they're always going to go in quotation marks. Always. That's how we know immediately that we're looking at the title of an article instead of the title of a book. You're going to put the title of the article in those quotation marks. You're going to make sure to capitalize every important word. Important words are anything that is not like a conjunction or a preposition. You're also going to put a period after the title of the article, and that period is going to go inside the quotation marks. All the time in MLA formatting, I shouldn't say all the time, with periods and commas and question marks and exclamation points in MLA formatting, it's always going to come inside the quotation marks. Next up is going to be the title of the book itself. The title of the book is italicized, always with the period. If you happen to have a subtitle, it would have a colon between the title and the subtitle. After the title of the book, you're going to put the editor of the book. Usually a book like that will have an editor listed. They may have more than one, such as our textbook does. You're going to put the editor's name. You're actually going to abbreviate ED period, just like you see here. And then you're going to put their name first and then last. You're not going to reverse it the way you did back here. If you have more than one editor, you put all of them in there, and they're all first, last. After the editor's name or names, you put a period. and you move on to the city of publication. You find the city of publication on the title page. Usually on the back of the title page, you'll find the city, just the city. Don't use the state, even if it's given to you. After the city comes a colon, and then the name of the publishing company. The publishing company, the copyright date, all of this information is found on the title page. Publishing company, you can omit words like books or publishers, whatever, just the basic name of the company, followed by a comma, and then the copyright date. Use whatever is the most recent copyright date listed, just the year in this case, followed by a period. After that, you've got the page numbers from the article that you're looking at. That would be the page range of the entire article. In this case, you don't use the letter P or PG or the word page. You just use number dash number with a period after it. And finally, you follow it up with the word print with a period. That indicates that this is a hard copy of a source. Here's an example. We've got an author, last name, comma, first name, period. The title of this article is called Facing It, in quotation marks with a period inside. The title of the book is called The Seagull Reader, with a period after it. The editor, we use the abbreviation ED, and the name Joseph Kelly, first, last, with a period. This was published in New York, followed by a colon. Norton is the publisher, with a comma, and it was published in the year 2000, period. This article appeared on pages 126 to 127. If you have consecutive numbers like that, you don't have to repeat the two if you don't want to. You use a period and then finally the word print. Now, one thing I want to point out here is that if you're using sources from the same book, certain information will be the same no matter what articles you're citing from it. So the title of the book, the editor, the city, the publisher, the copyright date, and the word print, that's going to be the same. If you take more than one source from the same book, from the same anthology, your article title, and your page numbers will change, but everything else will stay the same. So if you've got more than one source from our textbook, you might be in this boat. All right, now do some practice. Take a minute, pause this video, and head over to your AP citation practice handout. Find the examples for citing an anthology, number 3, and try it out. You don't have to do all of them if you don't want to, but do as many as you need to in order to be confident. If you want to check your answers, the answer key to the practice exercises is on Schoology. Just go to the research paper folder under step 2, finding sources, then come back to this video for the second type of citation. All right, now we're going to look at citing a website. Now this is for an ordinary website, not a database, not something you found in Literature Resource Center or on EBSCOhost. This is just an ordinary Googled website. This is also not for a PDF file or a Word file or something like that. This is just an ordinary website. The thing to know is you're always going to have to cite a specific page of the website, never the web page as a whole. So you're not going to just say, I'm citing CNN. No, you're citing the specific article you're looking at on CNN. Here's our format. Again, we're always going to start the author, last name, comma, first name of the specific article you're looking at. Then you're going to do the title of the specific article you're looking at. Once again, this is a smaller part of a whole, so it goes in quotation marks with every important word capitalized, a period inside the quotation marks. Very similar to what we saw over with an anthology. Next comes the title of the website. For the title of the website, you're going to spell it out if it's spelled out on the website, but make sure to not use the .com, and we'll take a look at an example down below. After the website, that is always italicized because it's a bigger piece. You put a period. Next comes the sponsor. The sponsor is usually the copyright holder. That's whatever organization is responsible for publishing this website. You usually got to scroll all the way down to the bottom to find it, and its name should be right next to the copyright symbol. A lot of times, this might be the exact same thing as the title of the website. If so, that's okay, just repeat it. This time it's italicized because it's the title, this time it's not because it's the sponsor. After the sponsor, you put a comma, and then the date. Now the date might be the copyright year only. If that's the only date you have, that's what you use. But a lot of times, articles that you find online will have specific publication dates, the date that it was actually put up there. If so, use the full date. But make sure you put it in MLA formatting, which is the day, then the month, then the year. After the date, you'll put a period and the word web. Actually write the word web. That shows that it is an internet source. You also need to follow up with the date that you accessed it. So whatever day you happen to be looking at it, if that would be today, you would put today's day, and then the month, and then the year, ending with a period. Old versions of MLA formatting required you to put the URL of the website. 2009 edition did not require that, and I'm not requiring you to do it. However, know that the 2016 version that we're going to be using next year does in fact add it back in, so you don't have to worry about it for now. Here's an example: last name, comma, first period. Here's the title of our article, all capitalized with a period inside the quotation marks. WFMZ, italicized, not WFMZ.com, just WFMZ. The sponsor is Marantha Broadcasting Company, comma, and then the date, the specific date that the article was published, the word web, and the date that you accessed it. Period. Couple of notes. As I already said, don't use the .com in the website title. I know there's some usage of it in your packet. Just cross it out and ignore it. It's wrong. There might not be an author listed. If not, start with the article title. Just leave the author space blank. Don't put anonymous. Put it right there, starting with the title. There's always going to be a sponsor or copyright holder. It's not always so easy to find. You look down at the copyright. Sometimes there's an About Us page. That might help you if there's nothing listed down at the bottom. Sometimes the internet gives you original publication information. If that's the case, come talk to me about it and I'll help you figure it out. That's kind of rare and we usually don't need to worry about it. But if you do run into that problem, we'll talk. All right, now we're going to do some more practice. Again, pause the video, go over to your AP Citation Practice handout, find the examples for citing a website. Sorry about that, I just copied and pasted, and try it out. Do as many as you need to, and if you want to check your work, the answer key is on Schoology as before. Do make sure you come back to the video when you're done, because I've got one more slide with a few notes. Couple of notes. If your source has more than one author of any kind, see page 1 of your Citation Quick Guide. The multiple author info that's under the regular book citation applies to any type of source. The other thing you should know is that all citations should be evenly double-spaced and use a hanging indent. That is something that you've always been doing, nothing new, but just a reminder. In the practice exercises in the citation guide, I don't always do that for the sake of space, just like in this PowerPoint. But in your citations, you should always double-space them and use a hanging indent. Thank you for watching. I hope you find this helpful in creating your own citations for websites and anthologies.